Time's up, Admiral.
Here it comes.
All kids out of the pool for Adult Swim. All kids out.
There we go. All better now. Man, titties are the greatest things on earth.
I'm trying to fight off a yawn as the camera goes on. Hail and howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Dive, the Double Ds, where you, the audience, the chat, run the show. I'm happy to wish you guys Monday. It's Monday. Yes, I wish you a Monday. Take that however you want. I wish you a Monday because the week starts and Mondays are Mondays. What are we going to do? So I hope you guys are having a good day so far. It's the beginning of the afternoon. And we're here. We've been doing this for a week. And I'm going to say it's an early success. You guys have shown up. You've helped me make this show fun, entertaining, because it is your show, essentially. It's my show, but it's really your show. You guys are the content directors for this. So thank you all for being here again. Hit that like button. And we already got a show for you. The show's kind of already sort of built today because we had some reservations were made for content over the weekend. So let me let you guys what we're going to do here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do the opening spiel, usual, remind everybody how the show works. Then we're going to do the normal. We're going to look at the articles. You guys see the articles. Then we're going to watch the first reserved video, the shorter of the two, because while we watch that one, you guys can decide if you want me to do a take on any of the articles. And then we got a biggin. We got a biggin article. Article. Video. It's a long one. Both of today's videos so far are Internet Historian. And here's the beauty of this whole situation. You guys may not know this, but I don't really watch a lot of YouTube videos outside our network, our circle or sphere, and streaming. I don't watch the big channels that have all these things. I don't do that. So it is literally it is a cornucopia of content for you guys to throw at me to react to. So there you go. Hail, howdy. Hope you guys are doing well. Hello to everybody in the chat. Hail, good sir, Algorithm the Strong, and the Goddess Legioness. A couple of my mods here to keep the peace. One of them loves me. One of them hates me, or at least mocks me ruthlessly all the time. Hail, Dom H. How are you, my friend? Listen. Once again, lies and propaganda. She's here. She's in the chat. She's not banned. This has to stop. Tired of LBJ waking you up? 5:30. I'm hoping that's your dog. I'm hoping that's your dog, Ariel. Okay, it is your dog. It is your dog. Okay, I was like, wow. Okay, I want to know what's going on there. Anyway, so hail howdy, everybody. Hey, Cal, who has pre-purchased one of our videos today. Hail to you, my friend. And everybody else, if you're just watching, not chatting, we're happy to have you here live or on the replay. Hit the like button. Let's get started. Okay, so as usual, here's how the game works on this show. $10 to order a rant, an Adam rant on a topic of your choosing. $15 to choose an article, whether you have one pre-prepared or the ones I show you in the opening here to give me an instant take. It could be entertaining. $20 to make me watch something or anything, basically anything. $30, I will watch and live review an episode of television or a movie 1 to 2 days later after the reservation because I need time to watch and review it. And now there is an addition to some caveats here. When it comes to videos, we have decided, me and the Brain Trust in charge of this show, we have decided we will allow both YouTube videos and TikTok videos. So if you find something insane on TikTok or at least reposted from TikTok on X because then it's safe, I will react to that as well. I will react to that insanity as well. There you go. So them's the rules. And just as a reminder, for the rest of May, we are trying to increase the tier we're trying to reach the tiers of my Day of Doom. My Day of Doom, a year from now, May 25th, 2026, where I will have to go to Disney World, Galaxy's Edge, and pretend to be a Disney Star Wars stan. We are a mere $26 away from me writing to have a chat influence respectful to Disney Star Wars piece of fan fiction, of which I'll have to do a dramatic reading on live on stream. You get that. So $26 more in super chats or stream elements tips or membership donations or memberships. I will have to write a piece of fan fiction influenced by you guys, the chat, in 2 weeks on Roundtable, May 25th, Sunday, May 25th. So there's that. And then I got to do a dramatic reading on this show. Okay. At $12.50, if we can get to $1,250, I will build the shittiest looking lightsaber possible at Disney Star Wars. And then at $1,300, you guys will choose the color crystal. At $1,400, you will make me build a shitty looking Disney Star Wars astromech droid, also at Galaxy's Edge. At $1,450, and Jed reclassified this yesterday, when we're in the park, you guys will be able to direct me to walk up to a Disney Star Wars official cast member at the park, and I have to tell them how great they are as a Disney Star Wars character and basically worship them like a stan. Jed redefined that, and I guess that's what it is. And then for $1,500, I have to take a picture with a combination of Kylo Ren and Rey, and essentially pretend to be a Reylo in the picture. Yeah, so there you go, guys. That's where we are for the rest of my Day of Doom. And honestly, I think you all have it in you to make me suffer. I think you do. I think you have it in you to make me suffer. Okay, so there it is. Let's bring that down. And also, also that's it. That's it. There you go, guys. That's it. Now, I'm going to announce this. We have just learned today, before we get into the stuff, we have just learned this morning that we will be getting a James Gunn Superman trailer on Wednesday. So you guys can reserve the right for me to do a live reaction to it. Not pre-recorded, live reaction. I will save my reaction for this show Wednesday afternoon. You guys can reserve that right. Same as any other make me watch a video. And I don't have hope for this because here's something that was released along with it today. No audio, but I will just play it for you. Mr. Terrific playing with crypto. I have less and less faith in this movie. So there you go, guys. Wednesday we'll have a trailer. You guys can reserve the right today or tomorrow for me to react to it. Do a live reaction. That should oh boy, that way no edits, no nothing. I am locked in no matter what I see, think, or feel. All right, so hello everybody. Hey Static, hey Gal, hey everybody else coming on in. No, it's not cute, Dom. It's stupid. It's stupid and retarded. That simple. All right, so let's go over the articles, and then we're going to watch our first video rented, reserved for us by our buddy Kratos El Grados. Because it's dumb, Ariel. It's not Superman. Watching Mr. Terrific play with crypto, the fake crypto, literally the fake crypto, it's a CGI dog. It's not even a real freaking dog. It's retarded. It's stupid. It is not Superman. Should be some level of seriousness to a Superman movie. All right, so let's run through the show articles, and then while we watch the video that Kratos has reserved for us to watch, only 7 minutes, you guys can think about if you wanted me to react to an article. So let's take a look at the articles, and yes, I will bring them up on screen. I've learned from that error the first time around when I didn't do it a few days ago. Yes, Brad, I don't care about CGI dogs. I mean, I don't hate dogs. I just don't want dogs in my house. But other people's dogs, I'll play with other people's dogs, no problem. But I don't want to. I'm not going to feel anything for a CGI dog, especially when it's fake crypto. Okay, so here we go. We're at Variety. Upfronts kickoff as Fox reveals its 2025-2026 fall schedule. Like that freaking matters. Who's watching terrestrial TV anymore? Seriously. Nathan Fielder creating a fake singing competition for the rehearsal. One contestant lost $10,000. Feels betrayed. Okay, whatever. Who cares? You're dumb enough to do that shit. You get what you fucking deserve. Snoop Dogg to host New Year's Eve special for NBC Peacock. Well, I guess a lot of puff on that night. Ryan Phillippe on Motorhead's becoming Yoda to the young co-stars and popularly showing his butt. Oh, sure. Congratulations. They're going to do a Wicked live musical special on NBC this fall. Well, I wouldn't be surprised. That's probably really good marketing with this part 2 coming out in November. It's just going to be good marketing. I don't want to ever look at that. I never want to see that, but it's going to happen, and they're going to love it, and that movie's going to make some more money. An NBC air variety special in celebration network's 100th anniversary. The Office offshoot, The Paper, to premiere in September, drops first look image. I'm not a fan of The Office, so no, don't care. Okay, whatever. Let's check Hollywood Reporter. Okay, there's that there already. Upfronts kickoff. More looks at that. We learned over the weekend that Suits LA, the spinoff from Suits, was canceled. Just one season and done. Other news, let's check TV. Has Wheel of Time been canceled yet? Oh, by the way, Wheel of Time, once again, didn't show up on the Nielsen's in its run. I'm collecting the information. It's going to be great. Madonna limited series from Sean Levy at the Works and Networks. But I thought Sean Levy was working on a Star Wars movie. NBC planning 100th anniversary TV special. Lupin returning for season 4. Peacock's Office follow. Okay, we saw that already. All right, so that's canceled yet. Just check IGN. What are you guys saying? Hail Smooth DJ. Hail Psychotic Mongoose. We got rated? Sweet. Thank you for showing up. Hey, guys. Hey. Welcome to the show today. Okay, so American Dad returns to Fox. That's part of the things we saw. A Tony Hawk will campaign all he can for Tony Hawk's Underground remake. Pal World modders are restoring mechanics. Oh, you gotta love that, Kel. You gotta love that. Always love the modding community. Modding community will fix the mistakes made or the bullshit made by everybody else, because Nintendo is petty. Despite how much you love Nintendo, they are petty for what they're doing to Pal World and Pocket Pair. Because there is no way, shape, or form that Pal World will ever truly affect the numbers, the sales of Pokemon. Pokemon will always make money. So everything they're doing to Pal World Nintendo, it's petty, and it's sad, and it's stupid, and shame on them. Doom Dark Ages. I was never a Doom guy, so this does nothing for me. Naughty Dog's Neil Druckmann has been boot camping Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophets, Tati Gabriel on The Last of Us 2 Online hate. Oh, no. Oh, that's so bad. Guess what? You're going to get hated because you're black and queer. Cuckman is a son of a bitch. Street Fighter 6 to appear in schoolgirl anime Young Ladies Don't Play Fighting Games. Sure. I haven't heard of that anime yet. Maybe. I haven't dipped into this season yet. I'm waiting. So we'll see what happens there. There's a reason why Sephiroth has a different design don't spend your money on Wizards of the Coast Magic cards. Even if you are a fan of Final Fantasy or Lord of the Rings, don't spend your money on this shit because they hate you. They hate you. Why some Grand Theft Auto fans think Liberty City is a secret location in GTA 6. And more Elder Scrolls Oblivion stuff, whatever. Fallout TV series wants to go 5 or 6 seasons. Well, I'm planning on reviewing season 2, so we'll see how that goes. All right, I think that's kind of it. A lot of this stuff is really, really old this morning. This one's actually interesting. Warhammer 40K Space Marines 2 could do a Skyrim and last for years as they're opening it up to modders. They're just going to give modders access to the box. That's kind of cool. All right, let's look at the stupid. Last of Us Season 2 at Kotaku. Last of Us Season 2, Episode 5 recap, Seeing Red. Yeah, that show's dying. Why Last of Us fans are freaking about Pearl Jam this week. They had her play Pearl Jam in the show. I hate Pearl Jam. I always hated Pearl Jam. Eddie Vedder could suck my dick. One Star Wars blaster with Wild Journey and Andor just blew my mind. Last of Us fans celebrate the temporary return of their TV peepaw. I hate all of that. I hate all of that. All right, let's check their latest. 20 years ago today, a year ago today, MTV revealed the Xbox 360 to the world. Don't care. We already saw that one. Just saw that one. Why Last of Us fans are freaking out. We saw that one. Switch 2 mouse controls in action have us praying for sensitivity settings. All right. We just pretty much all saw this stuff. So they're retarded. More retarded Kotaku stuff. The Mary Sue. Push 3 retired federal agents their safety tip for women who get bad vibe on an elevator. The 10 best fantasy books with no magic. Then how is it fantasy? It's got to be some level of mysticalness to a world. If it's fantasy. God damn. Clown in a cornfield review, a new kind of slasher film. Not even Elmo safe from layoff culture. Yeah, fuck Elmo. And fuck Sesame Street now. It's not what it was. Do you want to taste the new Peacemaker trailer? No, I don't want to taste Peacemaker at all. Y'all, all right, that's from yesterday. We already saw this one. We already saw that one. We saw that one yesterday. Okay, so that's the Mary Sue. Normal stuff. Park Place. Disney scraps Pleakley dress gag and live action Stitch after gender activists frame him as an icon. Uh-oh. Are they not backing the not-so-secret agenda anymore? Opinion piece. Epcot is no longer a family-friendly theme park. It's been taken over by rowdy, entitled adults. New Disneyland Walt Disney silhouette at Disneyland breaks internet with resemblance to President Trump. And we covered this already. Snow White just flopped again, and this Doctor Who article was reserved for tonight for Doctor Who Cares reviews. And quick on Niche Gamer. Let's give them a refresh. I had that up for a while. Nothing really interesting here that I care about. All right, so there are the articles, guys. Have a thought. Have a think of what you saw there. If you like something, think about it for a few minutes while we look at our first reserved video from Kratos, El Grados, for $20 on Stream Element. No, it was a $20 super chat. It was a $20 super chat right here on YouTube. Thank you, Kratos, if you're watching on the replay, because I don't see you in the chat right now. You have reserved this, so let's have a look. Once again, this is Internet Historian. If you enjoy his stuff, go subscribe to his channel and watch it. And this is like the 4th or 5th video I've ever seen from him because you guys get to feed me these things. Okay, so here we go. The failure of Rainforest. Ariel, Lord of the Rings has magic in it. It does. It has plenty of magic in it. Okay. I don't know what this is. Here we go. Okay.
Where are we?
We're at Rainforest.
Where are we?
We're at Rainforest.
Yep.
In September 2000.
No! A furry convention? Oh dear, Kratos, what have you done? A furry convention. Oh, I can smell it already. Oh no.
2015, a group of furries came together with a brilliant idea. Rainforest, a convention for and by furries.
No. This is... Oh dear. Oh, I don't want to taste it. I don't want to taste it at all.
This is their story.
I'm just bringing in all the dirty laundry here, so you guys are lucky, and I'm probably going to ask you to not post that video, mister.
Rainforest is the reverse of DashCon. Where DashCon was a disaster caused by its organizers, Rainforest was a disaster caused by its attendees.
What? What is that? What am I looking at? I don't. Is that latex? Is that rubber? It was jiggling. I don't know. I remember that story. I don't know if that's true. Inflatable costumes. Oh, jeez. Oh no.
I am absolutely sure there is no truth to the rumor that Rainforest is under an evil curse. And with that, it is my pleasure to officially declare Rainforest 2015 open.
Open to degeneracy and costume sex and smells.
It all started with a talent contest. That went okay.
Well, that's just a cosplay. Oh, that's a dude. 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 It was such bad revolution. Oh, it's just a cosplay chick. No, that's a dude. That's a dude. Oh no! 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 That's terrible. That was a penis. That was a penis. Oh, come on, man. Oh. I hate furries. I hate furries. They are disgusting and creepy and weird.
But as the night went on, some started to get absolutely trashed.
Why? I have to ask, what possesses somebody? Oh, I still have. Oh, hang on! I just realized I still have my my. I still have my title from Wormhole Watch Up. I just realized that. No, I am the Atom. I am the Atom. So I just realized I have my Wormhole Watch title up.
A few hours later, the destruction had begun. Somebody had deliberately loosened the bolt on one of these toilets so that when the next person flushed, water flooded everywhere.
Okay, I have. Okay, is that somebody who was against this stuff, or somebody who was one of them and just wanted to pull a really bad joke? Because if it's somebody who hated these bastards, you're awesome. You are awesome for doing that. If you're somebody who's just fucking with your friends, still kind of awesome, but you have a problem.
2.5 inches deep. An emergency plumber was quickly on the scene, but the damage was already done. Water had leaked through the floor and onto the basement servers below. Meanwhile, staff and security are threatening to throw out some of the guests.
Of course.
They had disabled the fire alarm so they could hotbox their room.
Oh my.
Obviously, there are reasons not to do that. Down at the hot tub, someone took all of these towels and threw them into the spa, but not before rolling up towels and stuffing them directly into the pump, causing thousands of dollars in damage.
What is wrong with these people? I mean, ask that. What is wrong with these people? I mean, I'm all for good, like, fun, maybe being a little rough on things, doing not rampant destruction, but furries are weird.
And they stepped it up a notch from DashCon, from going number 1 in the ball pit to going number 2 in the swimming pool.
Oh, dude, the van was the hot tub was closed. The rest of the concert, due to somebody taking a shit in the hot tub. Sorry, everybody. You don't get to go in the already germ bacteria factory that is the hot tub because somebody took a shit in it. Look at these furry icons. Look at these avatars. Furries.
Back at the bathroom, there were rumors that someone had drilled a glory hole into one of the stalls.
Oh man, they really are degenerates, aren't they? They really are degenerates.
Although this wasn't confirmed. But what was confirmed was a haul of over 2,000 nitrous oxide canisters, just laying around in rooms and hallways. But that was just the start of the drug problem. First, a couple of guys overindulge in mushrooms and need an ambulance. Then a staff member gets arrested for...
Jed, this is a world that we never want to see. We never want to see. I never want to get close to furries. I don't. This is disgusting.
For sexual assault. Then someone else is arrested for regular assault. A few others drank too much and needed a second ambulance. And on the other side of the car park, 2 more people are being arrested, one for drug possession and the other for dealing.
Drugs was the major problem.
Meanwhile, you have these guys roaming the halls.
Wait. He's got a load in his pants. He shit his pants and he's still walking. Why? Shit his pants. And he's walking around with it. No, Ariel, look. There's a shape here. That's not jut, but there is a shape here. The ass does not sit like this. That's a load. Kel, we're already dressing me up in merch. It defeats the purpose. If I and remember, we're not allowed to. You can't cosplay at Galaxy's Edge. You can't cosplay.
They call it crinkling, after the noise it makes when they walk around. And yes, some of these diapers are full.
See, I was right. Don't you? I know what a full fucking pair of shorts looks like when I see it. I can see it. It's obvious. It's a logical assumption, Jed. It's a load. You just took a load in your pants. Took a dump, whatever. It's still a pants full of shit.
The other guests weren't too pleased.
Why were kids there?
Later on, they're just throwing food and diapers in the gardens and stairwells. They were behaving like... Animals?
One thing that's important is we do ask that you guys all be really good back to the hotel. Do you know the elevator buttons? You really don't have to use your foot. Just thumb them.
A few hours later.
Put your pants on and stop breaking shit!
But that wasn't the end of it.
There was an incident with diapers being found on people's cars.
The hotel was left in ruins.
Holy shit!
4 to 6 weeks later.
The Hilton submitted a letter listing all of the reasons Rainforest would not be allowed at their venue.
Because Kratos paid for it. That's why. Because Kratos paid for it. And you're enjoying it. Shut up. These are your people.
From now on, the hotel damage was more than all of the other cons combined that year. But it wasn't just the damages. Rainforest was insured and had over 150 grand in the bank to pay for it all. Rainforest was just so toxic that they said, "No thank you, take your money elsewhere." But that left them with a rather large problem.
Oh, that's a fact.
Because big hotel chains talk. Hilton talks to Sheraton, talks to Marriott, talks to Holiday Inn, talks to Hyatt, talks to Best Western, but there's
Holiday Inn's more of a motel. They're not really a hotel.
more. Someone was sending detailed letters to nearby venues, warning them why they shouldn't host the next Rainforest. Soon, there isn't one hotel in Seattle that has a convention center willing to host them.
No other hotel this side of the state wanted to take us. From Seattle to Bellingham.
What's interesting is that the organizers knew who was sending the letters.
These are the things that were talked about in that letter, and you're pretty much the only person who could have known that. Yeah, in my heart of hearts, I know who it is. Lean's motive and opportunity around, and it pisses me off.
What? No, you should be pissed off that you're all a bunch of degenerate effing weirdos. That's what should piss you off. That you are creepy and destructive, and you're throwing shit-filled diapers on cars, and you're shitting in the hot tub. That's what you should be upset with, not that somebody ratted your dumbasses out.
That. What he's saying is, whoever sent the letters was the same person who was putting diapers on these cars. Running low on options, they started to look further outside of the city. They managed to find a venue in Spokane that was willing to give them a shot. But by February, none of that mattered. The diaper-wearing saboteur had sent out another letter.
Every day they stray further from God. They abuse the free teas. God, possibly please save yourself and close what your venue will look like if you host the Rainforest 2016.
And Spokane backed out.
See?
So Rainforest 2016 was cancelled. And that's the story of Rainforest. So far.
Uh-oh.
Unlike DashCon, Rainforest is coming back. And Rainforest 2017 promises to be bigger and better than ever.
RF 2017, they're bringing it back. They're bringing it back. Yes. Oh, so many memories. So many memories.
Oops, never mind. As I was editing this, this happened. So it's cancelled forever. Bye. One last thing.
Oh.
A couple months ago, I made a video called Balloon Boy, The Untold Story. Soon after, Richard Heaney got in touch.
Here it is. All right.
For a follow-up to this story, check out my second channel, Incognito Mode.
Okay. Thank you, Kratos, for that. Smooth the DJ for a 1-month message. Don't give furries money. Also, cancel Disney Plus. Yes, cancel Disney Plus. It just takes your money and does nothing with it except make bad shit. All right. And thank you, Smoo, for the 1 month of our message. Okay. So, all right, Kratos, thank you for sharing that. It basically told us everything we already knew, that furries are degenerate, disgusting creatures. Yep. All right. If anybody has an article they want me to react to from the list, or maybe something that I don't know about, now is the time between the bigger segment, because the next video purchased for us by Kel for $50 over on Stream Elements. It is another internet historian video, and it's 50 minutes long. So buckle up. And I know what I see what it is. I have thoughts on this one because I am I have history with this video. So you're going to get probably a couple Adam rants here and there, I'm sure, because I have things to think about. So if you guys saw an article you want me to react to, though, or anything else, or if you want to reserve the live stream reaction to the Superman trailer on Wednesday, now is the time. For just $26 more, I have to write fan fiction. Remember that. Okay, so, all right. So if you guys aren't going to do an article, or if you're still thinking about it, we could do it after, because I have no personal segment, because we have these videos. Because the 50-minute video, that's going to be most of the show now. So unless another video, there are other videos. Remember, you can make me watch more videos. It doesn't just end with 2. We are here as long as you guys want to be here. Anyway, okay, so we've got another one right here, another internet historian video. This one I am actually pretty interested to see because I lived it. What we're talking about, we are talking about the engoodening of No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky. No Man's Scam, as we called it during its initial release. There we go. All right, thank you, Smooth, for subscribing to the Renaissance Nerd Arcade, where all my gaming streams are re-uploaded. You can find all the goodness there. Okay, all right. So without further ado, I guess, Let's get into this one. I'm sure I'm going to have lots to say as we watch it.
Sponsored by that game everyone loves. Scientists are racing to unlock the secrets of the cosmos. Questions we once thought impossible to answer are within our grasp. Where does the sun go at night? Is math related to science?
See, that's the thing, Smootho. They can redeem it all they want. I will not forgive for the initial. And I'll explain that as we get into this.
The universe is so big, then why won't it fight me? As we look further into the universe, we see light from distant stars, eons old, perhaps hundreds, even thousands of miles away. Hold on, can I get a zoom in on that?
You bet I can. This is one of the world's most powerful telescopes. Initiating 6 times zoom.
Can this baby do 7?
I can do you one better. Maneuvering to 8 times zoom.
Pressure rising, holding steady. I can see it. Unblur.
It won't hold.
Get me 8.5 times.
You're a madman.
What is this, warp speed?
Upscale it to 4K.
The helium tanks will go critical.
Opening the blind. Hold her steady. Uncropping and increasing aspect ratio. Now, punch it. There it is. Life on another world. And to think, we owe it all to one indie development studio.
Yeah, guess what? That life wasn't there in the original release.
Hello Games. Let's start at the beginning. Yeah, it's rewind time. Okay, the year is 2009, Guildford, England. There's a man named Sean Murray, and he's just founded a company called Hello Games. Sean and the boys are working hard on a brand new IP called Joe Danger. 2010 AD, the game just came out. It's a success. They're a small team, but they are ambitious. Let's do something bigger.
Yeah, they were ambitious, all right.
Let's reach for the stars. How about Joe Danger 2? Brilliant. It's 2012. Joe Danger 2 has just come out. But that one doesn't perform as well. We need to do something even bigger than Joe Danger 2. Joe Danger 3? No. Even more out of this world. Something no man has done before. Joe Danger the mobile game? Yes! And that came out in 2014. Seriously, guys, biggest thing you can think of. No, I'm just a stock image, dude. Why don't you think of something? Sean pondered for a moment.
Yeah,
then turned and...
Smooth, I'm going to get into it. Once Historian finishes laying this out, I'm going to so get into it. Don't worry.
Looked wistfully into the mirror. Reflected back was the visage of Neil deGrasse Tyson.
If you're going to make a space... I never saw freaking animals. I never did. I never saw freaking animals.
This game, first person, have never been done before. How about that? I'm going up in orbit to repair the Hubble telescope.
Yeah, and this one's for Jed. Fuck you, Neil. Fuck you.
So that's not a knife. Who are you going to have sex with? How much microwaves are coursing through your body now?
Planet, said Murray. Space game. Procedural generation. Planet. Okay, that sounds good. Yes, we all agree. So they set to work, cobbled together a prototype, and by VGX 2013, they are ready to announce another new IP. No Man's Sky. Check it out.
Oh, this is special.
Oh my gosh!
This is special.
Yes. No.
And all these things here, meaningless at launch. Meaningless. Meaningless. No man's scam. No man's scam. Now, I didn't hear about this until it was about, I want to say 2 or 3 months from launch. So I wasn't a part of the hyper buildup. I learned about it right essentially before it was going to drop.
It's 2014, and it's E3 hype time. No Man's
E3.
Sky has promised
E3, I don't miss it.
to be a game like no other. A practically boundless experience vibrant with life and color and things to explore.
Oh, I'll talk about the lie of the co-op in this too. So when we get to that, I'm gonna let historian finish setting the setup. Then when we get to the launch, I will tell you my story.
What's over there? You'll have to be the one to discover it. And then, wow, look at that big f***ing dinosaur, holy shit. And a moment later, we're in space, having a battle amongst a giant fleet. Claim a planet as your own. Explore the galaxy with your friends.
Okay, that's it. This is going to be the best game ever, you guys.
All those were
won
lies at
awards
launch.
for its hype.
All of them.
And it will release in June 2016. The hype train was officially loading up and ready to chug out of the station. At every stop of the journey, there would be press junkets talking about the amazing scale of the game, spread across 18 quintillion planets.
Yeah, it was an entirely generated galaxy that you had no hopes of actually ever exploring in its full. And you were supposed to start at a point, and whatever planet you landed on first, it would say discovered by you when you landed there. It's like, oh man, this is gonna be great. And I'm gonna run into people. We're gonna do shit. It's gonna be awesome.
It's so vast that by the time you finish exploring it all, I would have 2 new videos published. Sean himself was doing the interviews, because who is better to talk about the game than the lead guy himself? He went from interview to interview, and with each question, the answers he gave raised people's expectations of the game's scope.
Can you land on a comet? Yeah, at the moment you can land on asteroids. You could encounter other players.
There were no asteroids at launch. There were no asteroids at launch. None.
Can you grief other players? A little bit.
Oh, wait, I'm going to wait for it. I'm going to wait for it.
Really building your own, like, massively multiplayer world that's procedurally generated.
Sand planets like in Dune. Rivers. Walking sentinels. Hacking. So sophisticated that light diffracts through the atoms, they had to redevelop the whole periodic table to make it work.
What?
Even Elon Musk was hyped for it. 2 years go by. It's early 2016, and that hype train is really moving now.
Yeah, all right.
Perhaps one of the big...
All right, it's early 16. It's April 2016, May 2016, and I have returned from China, and I am recovering from actual, real, non-lab created coof. I'm recovering. My body is my body's a mess internally. I am not well. Nothing's working quite right. I'm sick. I'm not sick, but I'm in recovery. At the same time, during that period of time when it happened, I had also effed up my right foot when I fell right before I got sick there. So I was sick and that. So I can't really walk. And I don't have a lot of stamina. I have like an eighth of the stamina I used to have. So I am laid up. And I'm going to be laid up for the next year, essentially, as I recover, as I rebuild myself, as I put the like normal weight back on, so I don't look like sicky heavy, and I start to be able to have lung capacity again, because I didn't have lung capacity. I couldn't hold my breath for very long. And I'll be honest, I didn't poop right. Nothing was right with me. Nothing was right with me for like a year. So I was laid up. I needed things to do. And at the same time, I was trying to plan out, what am I going to do with my life now? What am I going to do next? And Jed, I had like no stamina. I couldn't exert myself for very long. I was all effed up. I was all messed up after what happened to me, after the sick I got. So it was a year. It wasn't until like late 2017 when I charted my next path that I was kind of functional again. I could walk normally. I wasn't limping. I could breathe. I could eat normally again. Everything was fine. But I was going to be late. I was late for a long time, so I needed things to do. I needed games and television to watch. And the idea of No Man's Sky, when I found it, because I had my PS4, it was going to launch on PS4, among other things. I'm thinking, oh, great, this is awesome. Look at this thing. I wasn't playing an MMO at the time. I was on a SWTOR break. I was on a Final Fantasy 14 break. And even if I did, I didn't have the computer to play them on. I didn't have the computer because I had gotten rid of my computer. All I had was what is now my mom's laptop. So I couldn't do anything. No, I didn't walk hunched over in pain, Ariel. I just couldn't do much. So I was literally in like recovery. Couldn't do anything.
Biggest in video game history. Reddit was shoveling most of the gamer fuel. Skeptics and naysayers are treated as ballast and thrown from the carriage doors. Pre-orders open, and they are doing very well.
Yep.
The date is booked in. Some are even taking the day off work. So much hype there is that... Uh-oh. Jason Schreier of the soon-to-be defunct Kotaku is about to spoil the party. He announces a delay. From June 2016 to August.
Oh my god!
Liar, the incensed audience cries. Please be quiet, they said. And death threats, too. But he was 100% right. A week later, the delay is officially announced. Ooh, sorry, lads, we need more polish.
I don't remember the delay. I just remember learning about the game. So never that. And also my memory is a little fuzzy of that period of time. Not everything is quite clear about passage of time. But whenever it came out, I was on the hype train. I was so excited for this game.
Said Sean in his usual accent. To that, Sean received some death threats too, by the way. Although he didn't take them as seriously or go to the police.
Anybody behaving like that, you're nuts.
Sometimes foreshadowing is relatively obvious.
But the impatient crowd relaxed a bit and said, fine, we will wait. But we expect a level of polish no man has ever seen. Speaking of waiting, Shadow Man here. Have you heard of Raidy Shady? My wife died in a plane crash. Hey, let's get serious for a moment. Raid isn't just a game with 15 million downloads in the last 6 months. It's a lifestyle. Think differently. Play Raid differently. Achieve your dreams. I'm sorry, sir. You've contracted Raids. That's good. Congratulations, it's Gorgorub of the Undead Horde.
My life, Bonezu.
You just collected one of over 400 champions. Why, hello there. Have you heard about the online RPG PvP? It's extremely well reviewed on the Play Store. Oh, you remind me of my wife.
Entertaining.
Raid is more than just a game. It's a reassuring pat on the back from your dad. It's a warm bowl of soup on a cold night. It's one last dance at your wife's funeral. If you haven't played in the arena yet, I'm going to break into your house. You're all getting Raid for Christmas, kids. Yay! And if you download now, kids, using the link in the description below, you can get an extra 50k silver and an epic champion. Wow, you're the best dad ever. Wait, Mum's dead?
Raid Shadow Legends.
As I said, at least he makes this funny.
So let's talk about the team in charge of all that polishing. It's small, tiny. In fact, I haven't been able to find a smaller team behind a AAA release. All of these expectations are on the shoulders of just 6 people, expanding to a team of 15 by the end of production. July. It's just a couple of weeks until the release date. Whatever the state of the game by now, however much it's finished, that's what's going out.
Yep.
The Hello Games team
Sure. Yep. Whatever's done. Yep.
Celebrates with this iconic image.
The quintessential soy face.
They're exhausted. Look at what video game production does to a man.
God, what's wrong with your face?
Nonetheless, they continue. working on the day one patch. And Sean, if your game isn't coming out for another 2 weeks, then why is there a box copy on eBay? That's right.
Oh.
It's a leak. Someone broke the embargo and is selling early access to the highest bidder. And the bids start rolling in.
I didn't know about this.
It reaches $1,300 US, sold to some guy with the Reddit handle Damien. He gets his hands on it and starts uploading footage to YouTube and Dailymotion.
Now, I wasn't watching YouTube at all, so I was oblivious to all of this. I was just, I didn't play on social media whatsoever during this period of time. I actually, this is 2016. I'm deep into my Star Wars black pill, so I didn't care about social media at all.
What the frick? Said Sean and Sony. Damien finished it a lot quicker than expected, but he gave it a decent review.
There are things I don't like. There are things.
That's a lie. That has to be a lie. If you like it and knowing what that was, wow, that's bullshit then.
Things I like, but at the end of the day, when I say to myself, what is this game supposed to be? This, what I'm looking at right here, this is what the game is supposed to be.
He noted a few problems, but said he was optimistic that they would be ironed out with the day one patch. Sean, it's another leak. Some retailers broke the official release date, journalists too, and they started streaming playthroughs of the game. What the? Sony tried to DMCA all these videos, but their aim was terrible.
Round of applause, everyone. We've officially become No Man's censored by Sony.
Our news story from earlier this week about No Man's Sky leaks has been hit with a copyright strike on YouTube.
They went bumbling around from platform to platform, just taking down any video that even talked about the leak or showed the trailer footage. But it was too late.
Really?
The footage had people talking more skeptically about the game, especially because there were no early review copies.
That's bad.
And it was looking like the weight of all these expectations had become too much. And the whole thing was about to give.
Oh boy, was it going to break.
Oh no. It's
Here we go.
August.
Here we go.
Everyone's
Here
here. We've all bought the game and we're fucking hyped. Here we go, lads.
All right. Wait for it.
Oh dear Lord, it isn't finished.
All right. I'm going to tell you my story now. So I am one of the people that had this thing at launch. I bought it and I was excited because, as I said, I am laid up. I need something to do. I need something to keep my attention, keep me entertained because I feel miserable. I'm so sick. My job hunting is crap right now. It's terrible. I get No Man's Sky, and I believe the hype. It's a galaxy filled with endless exploration. You're gonna run into people out there. You're gonna find things. You're gonna get into space battles. You're gonna explore planets and find cool shit. You're gonna build your own starfighter, and then you can buy one with your money. You can trade it in. You can do all kinds of shit. You're gonna join people on adventures. You're gonna find untold galactic mysteries. Lies. At launch, all of it lies. I put the game in, and I'm on the starter planet. I build the first spaceship. You know, I'm mining materials. I'm like, okay, I'm getting out of here. I get into space. There's the space station, and I'm noticing something right away. Why do I see only 3 different types of aliens whenever I land at a spaceport on the planet, or I dock at a space station? And every time I go to one of these monolith places, it charts me a little path that starts telling me a secret. Long story short, I played this game for a couple of weeks. Played it for a couple of weeks, several times, because the whole point of the game is racing to the core of the galaxy. And guess what? You learn the secret of the galaxy, at least in version 1.0. You're living in a simulation of a long dead species. The species you encounter all died, so you are now just one part of the simulation. And every time you reach the core, it just resets you back to the outer rim of the galaxy so you can find your way back. Problem is, you're alone. It was proven. and I'm sure historians could talk about this, it was proven over and over and over again that people were not able to see each other in game. It was a solo game. There was no co-op. There was no MMO. People literally were standing on the same planet in the same coordinates, same place. They could not see each other. And there was nothing to do. You mined materials. You made your ship. You upgraded your ship. These space battles they promised were nothing. You could stand there and do nothing, and the battle happens, and the pirates leave, and Defense Force, nothing happens. You're on the planet, and the robots that are scanning life forms and scanning the planet, if you F with them, they'll attack you. And if you survive, great, but nothing happens. Nothing happens. There's no one to talk to. There's no in-game economy. You're not buying anything. There's no adventures. There are no quests. There's nothing to do except fly from planet to planet and learn the mystery of the galaxy. And once you already know that it's all a simulation, nothing. That was the truth of No Man's Sky in the beginning, and I will never forgive Sean or Hello Games for any of that. I will never forgive them because they lied. Now, we're going to get the history of what they did afterwards, but I don't care. You broke your promise, and for me, it was actually a pretty emotional thing because I was desperate for something to keep me from being miserable. You know, because I couldn't work. I couldn't do anything. My mom was working to keep us going at the time. And I was alone all freaking day. No one to talk to. All my friends are gone. I don't have any real friends anymore. I'm not gaming with people anymore. Even if I could game, my guilds are all broken up. This one, I have no my real life friends. I don't have many left at this point. I was alone. I needed something to do, something to keep me from being a depressed, miserable son of a bitch. And No Man's Sky had promised to be that thing for me. It said, oh, we're going to give you something to do. Oh, well, I mean, players kill. Yeah, players do. I was only whipped up for like 2 months. I only learned about this game about 2-3 months before it came out. From like April or May until June, until August. So, and I wasn't online. So I wasn't being super whipped up or anything. But a lot of people have. But this is my personal experience with nobody but myself and the promises of Sean and Hello Games to get me excited for this. So that's my story. I return. I mean, if I had the if I'd have to redo some cables right now, I'll show you my trophy list for No Man's Sky 1.0. I'll show you everything I did in there. I almost platinumed it. I almost platinumed the game. So I will never forgive. I don't care how good it is. The only way I play this is if somebody made me play it right now. You'd have to make me play it. That's where it is. I don't care how fun it is now. You screwed me over. And I'm not trying to make it personal, like, oh, they screwed me over on purpose because they did it to me. They knew they were going to screw me over. No, it's just I was at a very delicate emotional state at the time, and it was something that was going to keep me tethered to sanity, and it let me down. Now, fortunately, very short time later, I found I gave Mass Effect another chance. And that helped, that anchored me at that round time because I got Mass Effect Trilogy for $4 on PlayStation Store. And that is what got me settled. And at that point in time, I also decided to watch endless amounts of anime on a streaming site I found. So, and now, again, I'd have to be made. I'd have to be made to do this, Ariel. I would have to be made to do this. I don't want to. I am still, you can see I'm still angry. Still angry. I do not forgive very easily. Yeah, I mean, I wish I'd had internet access to play online games. I could have been in SWTOR or 14 and been happy and not care. But I didn't have it. I had, like I said, all I had is what is now my mom's laptop. And that was not capable of playing anything. So, all right, let's keep going.
Hello, Sean. It is me, the auditor of games. I used to work at an astronomy lab. Don't worry about that. It seems like you've made a lot of promises. Promises that you have not kept. Let's go through the checklist.
Have you got any large-scale joinable space battles?
Nobody would want that.
Ringed planets?
No.
Nope.
Fine. Well, at least let me play as a trader.
Nope.
Some may call this junk. Me, I call them.
No.
Those sand planets from June look nice.
Nope.
Think I might.
They were all the same jungle-type planets. There was no planet variety whatsoever.
Please, Sean, there must be rivers.
No, it's
Nope.
not.
Animals interact with each other in the environment?
No.
Packs of walking sentinels, Sean.
No.
Yeah, well,
I'm literally-
there were mechs in there, and they did attack you, and they would annihilate you. You couldn't really fight them.
Really crying right now. Should I even ask whether I can play as a space pirate?
Nope. Can't play as anything.
No.
Factions with different attributes.
You picked the wrong house, fool! Oh!
Fly between star systems manually.
But nobody's actually done it yet.
If I can maneuver like in the trailer, I'll still be happy.
No.
Nope.
Well, day-night cycles determined by
Nope.
the orbit of the sun.
None of this.
Yeah.
Really?
No.
No.
Land on an asteroid, radio chat,
Nope.
name your ship, hacking,
Nope.
portals.
Nope.
All that stuff
No
about
Stargates.
the elements, Sean.
No.
This is not good, Sean. This is very not good. And ironically, the only bugs this game doesn't have are the butterflies in the demo. Buried buildings, aggressive emojis, tractor beam malfunctions,
Nope.
animal husbandry,
Oh,
oil
that's
slick
emojis.
whirl, raining grass, retarded animals doing retarded things.
I didn't experience a lot of bugs because I was on a console, so I think the console was relatively bug-free. But there's probably mostly PC stuff here.
Ships' interiors disappear. First-person mode as a gun. That's not how flying works. That's my only means of transportation, leaving the planet. Take off. Really take off. Holes in the map. Holes in my graphics card. Whole lot of nothing from down here. Textures bugging out. Animals bugging out. Animals breakdancing. Look at these busy hands. Hello there. And a couple of unrequested ejector seats. Okay, that's a lot of stuff. I get the picture. No, wait. Poor graphics rendering. Some can't even start the game. Frame rate issues, constant crashes. Major publications are having trouble playing the game on their machines. Even the best 1080 Ti's are stuttering. Alt-tabbing? That's a guaranteed crash. Desktop notifications? That's a crash. Playing the game? That's a crash. Changing options in the game without restarting? You'll get this. And if you got the pre-order version with the bonus spaceship, you might have a problem.
Yeah,
Your special
I got the pre-order version. I got it.
ship already comes with a hyperdrive inside it. Great, right? No, because you have to craft it in order to finish the tutorial missions.
Yep.
And if you haven't finished the tutorial missions, you can't leave the star system. So whoops, until they patch it, you're stranded.
That's why I give my kids No Man's Sky. The fool.
Ah, my ship's in bits! Okay, thank you.
Just a quick note about how high expectations were for this game, and just how many people bought it on release, myself included. Over 750,000 purchases on Steam at launch. It's the single best-selling game on the PlayStation Store that month. And the large proportion of people who bought it in the hopes of playing with their friends, well, you're in for a surprise. This one is a literal game changer.
Is it even possible to meet up with your friends in No Man's Sky?
Nope.
The answer is absolutely yes. It's possible.
Nope.
On multiple occasions, Sean said it was definitely in the game.
Will you be able to play with your friends?
Yeah.
Can you run into other people, other players on the game?
Yes.
But then just before the release, Sean posted this cryptic tweet. To be super clear, No Man's Sky is not a multiplayer game. Please don't go in
Are you
looking
beginning
for
to
that.
understand why I won't forgive? Are you beginning to get why I'm not going to forgive this guy ever, no matter what he does to this game? Not going to forgive. Lie. You cannot, to me, if you cannot lie like this and expect forgiveness in such a way.
Experience. Oh, what? So there's no multiplayer function. But then the next line contradicts that. Because the chances of two players ever crossing paths in a universe this big is pretty much zero. Oh, so it is multiplayer. You just have to overcome this finding each other hurdle.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah! Right? No, it's more confusing than that. Because the box doesn't mention online play, just network features. And the collector's edition had its online play icon stickered over. So customers are going, which one is it, Sean? Just tell us if it has multiplayer or it doesn't have multiplayer. Sean wouldn't give any answers. But after hundreds of thousands of purchases, people soon took it upon themselves to find out. Despite the claims that it would be so improbable.
That are incredibly rare.
People worked at it.
On the very...
never doubt what gamers are going to do to try and make something happen. We are a persistent, angry, salty bunch. And we're going to say, oh, you say we can't do it? Oh, we're going to do it. We're going to do it.
The first day, two people noticed they were only 4 star systems from one another, and they met up on the same planet in a live stream. Oh dear.
A black pillar.
Our streams are exactly lined up. If you go look at my stream, we're looking at the exact same area right now. If you don't.
Yep, that's the same spot. And they can't see each other.
I'm alone!
That settles it. It's not multiplayer because it's so big. It's not multiplayer because it's just not fucking multiplayer. And this led to quite a revolt.
They promised
What did Sean have to say about all this? So amazing, 2 people found each other on the first day. That has blown my mind.
So why can't we see other players in game?
Wow, so many of you playing.
Yeah, Sean, but what?
Truly amazing. My mind is blown.
So what's the game actually like then?
Is it any good? That is a difficult thing to say.
Well, it certainly is stylish and pretty, and there are a lot of places to explore. But that doesn't mean there's much to find. In fact, the game boils down to a very simple loop. Hold down the trigger to pick up resources, deal with a full inventory, get an upgrade, leave the planet, go to another planet. Hold down the trigger, deal with a full inventory, get an upgrade, leave the planet, go to another planet. Hold down the trigger, deal with a full inventory, leave the planet, go to another planet, deal with a full inventory, get an upgrade, leave the planet, go to another planet. That's it. $60, ladies and gentlemen.
Refuel your multi-tool, refuel your life support, refuel a separate part of your multi-tool that shoots bullets instead of the mining beam, refuel your launch thrusters. It's busy work.
I remember I was so proud of my gun, my gear. I had built so much cool shit for myself. Man, my gun is good, my multi-tool is good. I'm surviving. I'm min-maxing really well. I'm ready for adventure and action, except there was no adventure and action.
That makes it look like you have something to do. It's not real.
How dare you?
What followed was one of the most dramatic crashes in player numbers in gaming history. Sales in the UK fell by 81% in the second week. Concurrent players on Steam dropped from 212,000 in August to just over 2,000 by September and fewer than 1,000 by October. And what followed that was perhaps the biggest pylon in gaming history.
And rightfully so.
Reviewers on YouTube panned the game.
Oh, for fuck's sake! You done fucked it up!
I had no hype, and I can tell you that, even without that disappointment, this game is hot garbage.
Has anyone coined Sean Murray?
Numerous times within the first 2 hours of the game, I kept saying, this is it? Fuck this shit.
Reviewers in the media were almost as harsh.
Devastating realization that most of the crafting, combat, and other activities you do on and between those planets ranges between bemusing and outright bad.
The criticism was deafening. And a lot of it really funny and creative. Kroby Cat made a video that captured the sentiment of that day, and if you haven't seen it yet, you're missing out.
So people are furious. The game is boring, and soon people discover that complaining about the game is actually more fun than playing it.
Wait, I'm now 3.5 hours into the tutorial, pretty much.
Oh,
So they started complaining about it like they
Really?
were grinding
Okay,
for an
I'm sorry.
achievement.
Don't use DSP as a reference point. Come on. Come on, historian. Don't you need to know that you can't use DSP. Come on. Come on.
This sucks.
Fucking Minecraft in space.
Many people made compilations of all the unfulfilled promises. One guy on the subreddit compiled a big list of all the missing features. Front page. Got a defense for No Man's Sky? Enjoy your downvote. In fact, the entire No Man's Sky subreddit was in such disarray it had to be locked.
So by the end of the month, Metacritic was like scrolling through a bowl of Cheerios. By October, it was one of the worst rated games on Steam, with an aggregate of mostly negative from more than 70,000 reviews. The outrage at the game was headline news for weeks on dozens of games news
And
publications.
rightfully so.
And the price on eBay and Amazon and secondhand at GameStop was crashing through the
Fortunately,
floor.
I returned my very
Please,
quickly.
no more.
I got
But the
something
beatings
for it.
had only just begun. The demo planet was data mined and found to be, of course, totally scripted and not randomly generated at all.
I've just got to pick one of these at random. If anything horrible goes wrong, just keep in mind that I've not been here before.
It wasn't some level that we built or something like that, even though I think it looks quite nice in places.
People watching this would wonder why you're showing this area again. Like, what's so special about demoing the game on this planet?
Oh, no, it's just a place that looks nice.
No, Bad Murray.
I could have ended the demo with some, pre-scripted crazy thing that would happen. You know what I mean? The normal thing of like, and then a monster emerges from behind the mountains,
People see what's going on with the game and feel lied to.
Yep.
This is false advertising, they say, and angry customers start scoping out a lawsuit. On September 28th, the ASA busts through the door and goes, "Yep, too many complaints. We're going to investigate." But then soon after, the ASA cleared them of any legal wrongdoing. Technically, the only thing they're interested in is what's on the back of the box, what's on the store page.
And that's bullshit. This was false advertising. It was complete and total false advertising. It was.
And what's on the Steam page. So it's technically not false advertising. But of course...
Yet you have dozens of hours of Sean saying otherwise in interviews. Yeah.
Technically not illegal doesn't mean much to an angry audience. October 28th, Hello Games Twitter is hacked.
See, now at this point, I am not, like I say, I'm not on social media. I found other avenues to keep myself entertained and not spiraling. So I am completely disconnected at this point. I thought the game had crashed and burned and it gone away. I thought it was done over. Nobody cared anymore.
A hacker posts, "No Man's Sky was a mistake," and is shitting on the game in the replies. Turns out Sean didn't use two-factor authentication on his LinkedIn, and that's how they got in. They also sent discrediting emails to journalists, which they knew would rile people up if published. Some people even show up to their offices to take photos and knock on the door, even at night and on the weekend. They posted empty pictures of the office, so, naturally out of context, this started rumors that Hello Games simply took the money and ran. This in addition to numerous bomb and death threats during that period. Those ones Sean did have to take seriously.
Regular intervention from police and Scotland Yard and things like that.
And while Sony didn't quite throw them under the bus, it was more like a gentle push under a minivan when Sony president Shohei Yoshida admitted that Hello Games did not have a great PR strategy for No Man's Sky. The press took the ball with that one and ran. But despite all of this, all of the negative press, they were actually nominated for a couple of awards. But by this point, Murray and the other members of Hello Games
Gaming Awards, worthless
were so downtrodden and so sure they weren't going to win that they opted to go elsewhere for dinner.
And the Innovation Award goes to No Man's Sky.
Worthless. Oh, bro.
This lovely trophy going once.
This just shows you how worthless Game Awards are.
I'm gonna set this.
So they gave award to the worst performing game that year. Its innovation wasn't innovative at all. They didn't deliver on any of their promises.
On the behalf of Hello Games, and congratulations to them. And I'm going to walk off stage like I planned that whole thing.
By this point, you've got to feel just a little bit sorry for them.
Nope. No sorry at all.
And then what followed that was the final straw for many. No particular incident, but a lack of incidents. Silence. Over 3 months of not a damn word from No Man's Sky. Where are they? Where is my refund? Where is Murray? Shouted into the void. The game was over. And it was dead.
Yep, I thought it was dead. I guess here comes the redemption. What's this now?
The year is 2000 AD. Sean has just graduated from university and is headed into the big wide world. He rises up the ranks at a number of studios, eventually working as a technical lead for Black and technical director for Burnout 3. When Burnout's developer is bought by EA, he is in his late 20s. And he and 3 of his buddies decide to leave and start their own studio, Hello Games. This was a risky venture.
So we'd done this incredibly foolish thing of like quitting our jobs, and then we had to sit down and try and decide what the game was going to be.
Together they create their first title, Joe Danger. They work on this game day and night. In fact, even once they were arrested in their own office because the police thought they were there to rob the place, because who would be working at 11 p.m. on a Sunday night? But they had to work that hard. Like any startup, it was a huge financial and professional risk. They had no income. They were working in a tiny room above an old tile shop, living off savings. And to keep the project running, Sean even sold his house.
So we made a really tough and probably at the time seemed really foolish decision. It's kind of almost embarrassing for me to talk about. I sold my house and just basically went all in and funded what we were doing, which is not something I would recommend anyone else do.
But by June 8th, 2010, they had done it. The game was good. And they could breathe a sigh of relief because on the very first day it hit the PlayStation Store, they made their money back. 2 years later, Joe Danger 2 was released. It was not the commercial success they had hoped for, and they didn't want to just keep pumping out sequels. That was a trap big players in the industry had fallen into.
That's actually smart.
In his spare time, Sean started working on a prototype for a procedurally generated game. They took another gamble and scrambled to get a trailer out in time to present at VGX 2013. So the project is official now, and the pressure is on. Around this time, Sean is also looking to start a family. Concurrent to all this development, he would go on to have 3 kids. So the weight of responsibility is really piling on. But their hard work will pay off, as they're finally going to have a chance for some R&R around Christmas.
They woke up to find their homes flooded, their cars submerged, and their plans for Christmas Day very much ruined.
Bad news. Rain. Rain and flooding in the south of England, right around the Hello Games office. They are completely inundated, and they return from their holidays to find laptops floating around at waist height.
Wait, so...
But some good news.
So I'm going to be told now that the game sucked because of a natural disaster? And they didn't have backups?
Hadn't lost any data.
Oh, okay.
So they pull together. Soldier on.
Development
So they're
fine.
Continues.
So everything's fine. Great.
So there they are, working in a damp office, and then ding dong. Ooh, who's at the door? It's Danish mathematician Dr. Johan Gerlis. He's seen the game, and he says, "They are using my super formula," in perfect English, and there is a potential for a lawsuit. Sean says they didn't, and he can prove it. So they have a meeting, and the claim is eventually dropped. Lawsuit evaded. So back to work, guys. Ding dong. It's Sky Television. They'd seen the game.
You were infringing on our Sky trademark.
They said in perfect text-to-speech. They had succeeded in getting Microsoft to change SkyDrive to OneDrive, and they were about to give gamers No Man's 1 under threat of lawsuit. But this lawsuit didn't just go away.
It's such petty shit.
The threat
That's petty.
loomed over them for the next 3 years, right up until the month before release. So they get back to work and ding dong. It's Sony with some good news for once. We like your game, kid. We want to feature it front and center and make you a big star. This could mean millions of dollars in additional revenue. They said, yeah. But along with it, a lot of press for this game would need to be done. Being a small team, they didn't have anyone for PR. They had their designers, they had their developers, and that was about it. So it's up to Murray. Sean's in his early 30s now.
I don't
Not super.
You see, this is what I don't get. If you're Sony, why don't you give them some PR team? If you take a look and say, "Oh, these guys are noobs," give them a PR guy. You're Sony. You've got plenty of them.
Young, but relatively young, and inexperienced for this type of media circuit. This deal with Sony put extra pressure on them. It set deadlines. It's not that it's Sony's fault, but they're locked in now with much less flexibility. So when May rolls around, and they have no option but to delay, even if they wanted to ask for an extra 6 to 12 months of development, which they really need, it's probably too much to ask for. So they extend from late June to August. Only 6 weeks.
I guess.
From here,
I guess.
you can predict what's going to happen to multiplayer and a bunch of other promised features. So here's how the hype happened. Scope of game. Time. And here's the line which shows the reality of development. Progress is steady and ends in August 2016. Now
You
here
know
is
what?
the line.
I'm going to agree in the sense that Sony just wanted money, but if you're having any sort of integrity, understand that. Look at the contract, and if you're a developer, with your team you're not going to get it done in the time they wanted. Maybe don't make the deal and just keep working on it. Don't make the deal. Oh, Star Citizen is the ultimate scam. Listen, Star Citizen is the ultimate scam. I know people who've gotten into that, and they are still getting into it, or I have known. We don't really hang out anymore, but that is the ultimate fucking scam right there. Jeez, don't. Oof.
Kind of player expectation.
What I was saying was, sorry, I've lost my point with that. What I was saying was, just maybe have a little bit of integrity and know that just don't do it. Don't take the money, because in the long run, if your game is successful, there'll be more money to be had than a bad launch. Now, yes, they've recovered, but none of this needed to happen, in my opinion.
Patience. It should start out here and follow along the purple, but the overhyping trailer comes out and puts us way up here.
This is special.
In this trailer, it features a bunch of things that Hello Games thinks they're capable of having in the game by 2016. That's the first big mistake. Then it's announced for PlayStation, and it costs $60, and there's a collector's edition. Second, even bigger mistake. That puts us all the way up
Just
here.
don't do it.
And I think this is the main problem, because price tags set expectations. For a $60 game, this was seriously barren and disappointing. Now, if they had put it out for $20 as an indie game or an alpha, no problem.
Yeah, then
But when they gave it the AAA treatment, people rightfully aligned their expectations with other games in that category. That is the main reason customers' expectations were so skewed. Then Murray went to interviews, exacerbating the problem. Every time he mentioned
lied.
Even in passing, fans set their expectations to AAA heights for that feature. Now, some people think the interviews are the main problem. In my humble opinion, not so much. Most people never saw these interviews. It's not that rickety 12-foot ladder Sean's standing on that's the main problem. It's the 900-foot building he's perched it on in the first place. So the obvious solution here would be an official statement. Hey guys, look, don't expect a 10 out of 10. Expect more of a 5 out of 10. No, the publisher just...
Kel, that's an interesting point. the existence of early access gaming. I'm sure a lot of things contributed to that, but yeah, we have games that are in early access for years, and people don't blink because you know what you're signing up for. Now, this isn't the game that I stopped doing early access for. Games that I stopped doing early access for was what was called what was that MMO called? I've talked about it before. God, was that Korean MMO Arch something? I just forgot it completely. But they're pre-ordering this. This is why this isn't why, but it's later on why I don't pre-order shit anymore. I tend not to pre-order shit unless I know it's something. ArcAge, thank you, Kel. ArcAge, thank you. Now ArcAge came before this, so I'd already been burned by ArcAge. But this was a console release. When something's being released on a console, I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be at least playable and give me at least my $60, 50 to 80 hours of entertainment. You know, that's what I think I'm getting, and that's why. And Historian's right when he says this. When something gets that $60, especially console price tag, something that you know is going to come in a disc and you're going to put it on and play it, you expect to be given a game, not early access. Something that's still really in alpha or beta. I mean, let's be honest. No Man's Sky, that was an alpha. We got a physical copy of an alpha game back then. If you bought it for console like I did. So that's the thing. You get a console, you expect it. You expect it to be ready for play, not at. But nowadays, if something is early access, I mean, now you have early access on console. Like, what's that game? Shit. Static wanted to play it a few months ago, but it was the $30 to get into early access, and I was like, hell no, I'm not doing that. What was that game? You guys played it for a little bit. Or I know Static and Shock played it for a little bit. I don't remember, Kel, if you played it or not. But now, though, there is early access through console. There's definitely early access on Steam, but because it says early access, do not expect it. Path of Exile 2. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Kel. Path of Exile 2. Now, as long as you say it and we know what we're paying for, okay, fine. I know I'm getting a game that is still in the works. Now, I personally don't do that often. I do not put the money into an early access game, but I don't shit on a group for doing that. And if you have a problem with it, it's early access. Is what you get. Same thing happened to me when I played Warhammer Age of Reckoning. That game was essentially should have been in early access for another year when they released that shit. But we're talking 2008, 2009. So that's like predates all this shit. All right, here we go.
Sank an enormous investment of marketing and opportunity into the game.
What's wrong with you?
And that would be a huge middle finger to them. The publisher isn't going to make you hype the shit out of your game, but you can't talk it down either. So it's kind of stuck up there. In some ways, during the interview, he tries to temper expectations, but it's limited.
Can you build a space station?
No.
But let's not gloss over the interviews. Sean is a technical guy. He's a developer. He's also the introverted type. And the big lights and the stuff on camera does not come naturally to him.
Is it super nerve-wracking to talk on stage at E3?
Yes. Yes, definitely. I personally find going on stage at E3 like the hardest thing I've ever done. That's something that I would have had in a nightmare before. You know what I mean? It's
literally the hardest thing you've ever done?
Yeah.
Still, he stepped up and took interviews for his game from 2013 to 2016. And the main thing people wanted to hear about were the features.
Can you have more than...
So every planet, will there be wormholes?
Right. At what point...
Do you get points or anything?
From these interviews, people took Sean to be a liar, a Peter Molyneux or a chess club member out to sell his game at whatever reputational cost. But I think the truth is more complicated than that. Sean and the team are indie developers.
I'm interested to hear what his take on this is, because I say liar. I'm going to call it black and white. Going to call a spade. I say liar because you could tell the truth. It's not hard to tell the truth. It's not hard.
Developers working on a new IP. Their project and plans are constantly in flux. they have no idea how large chunks of the game are going to look, especially not a couple of years out from release. And crucially, Sean doesn't understand that something mentioned in 2013, even said in passing, is going to be seen as a promise
I don't believe that.
in the year
I don't believe that.
2016.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. Sorry, I don't buy that. I don't buy that.
Even if by then you've decided to cut it from the game. For example, orbiting around the sun.
Day has turned it out because the planet has actually rotated on its axis.
This originally was in the game, but it caused the player too much confusion. It kept being reported as a bug in the beta, as people left the planet and then returned to find everything different. But
No,
nonetheless,
you know what? That's just people being retards. That's people being retarded. Why don't you say, hey, stop being retards and understand day-night cycle.
into the line compilation it goes. So while they're still essentially formulating the game, the media all want a piece of Sean and to report on features first. Conversely, Sean thinks the reporters might help him to temper down things by emphasizing that Hello Games is an indie studio. But that is not how journalism is done. This is how journalism is done.
Can you customize the look of your character?
Sort of.
Full customization confirmed in No Man's Sky. Periodic table to create atmospheric particles that would diffract light at just the right.
There was no customization in that game. There wasn't. I mean, I didn't expect it. I wasn't looking to customize my character, but there was none.
It's wavelength.
Who the fuck told you? The press kind of operates downstream from the community because things are click driven as to what stories you get served and things like that. But a rumor would surface from Reddit straight to the front page.
There's all this hype, and the project has increased in scope dramatically and keeps increasing as the months go by until a point. They are close to the deadline and have to delay. And the reality of what they can achieve in the little time remaining is staring them in the face. They know they're not going to be putting out a finished game. They're worried. There's nothing more they can do. And the fear that they will disappoint the audience is growing on Sean and the team.
I worry about disappointing people.
Upon release, all of these clips are seen as proof that Sean is a liar. And what doesn't help is his body language. I mean, it's kind of the body language of someone who is lying. And this is why I mentioned he's an introvert. Remember, he's a technical lead. Actually, a really good one. But not a salesman. Cut him just a little bit of slack.
No!
Because this is simply how he talks.
No!
Here are some innocuous questions, and he answers them honestly.
Lead producers on No Man's Sky?
Yeah, I guess I'm a developer on it. I suppose the creator or something like that.
No, I really like making games. I don't necessarily love talking about making games.
I think you did a good job,
even
Sean,
though you guys are very nice.
Mate, seriously.
Same body language. And Jesus Christ, they have him up on stage and in front of cameras and bright lights and on the goddamn Colbert Report. Try keeping your nerve on that. Nonetheless, free of that context, the clips have him cemented in the community as a liar.
I will still say liar. I don't care. I mean, if people are going to say it, like Kelly said, maybe he's a little bit on the spectrum. He's an introvert. I'm not going to make excuses when you can just tell the truth. I know maybe it's because I can actually get on camera and do stuff. I mean, listen, I am an introvert to an extent. I have been for large parts of my life. I don't like to go out and do all the things people want to go out and do. I'm a homebody. I'm happy doing things at home, happy having people come over and do shit. But I don't lie. I tell the truth. It's not hard. And he set himself up for this problem by getting into bed with Sony. You didn't have to get into bed with Sony. Perhaps. I mean, yeah, never listen to the games journal. Now, here's the thing. I didn't listen to any games journals. I simply saw the announcement for this game when I saw it pop up when I was looking for something to play. Here comes a game that is this, and with all the promises already attached to it. I didn't. If you had told me if you had said, Adam, go look at Kotaku, go look at Polygon, go look at Collider, go look at this, that, I would have said, what's a Kotaku? What's a collider? I mean, here's how out of touch I was back in the day during that period, let's say from 2010 to 2016. I didn't know what any of those websites were. I'm still a guy who was clinging to video game magazines back then, Game Informer, a little bit, not as much as I used to. I mean, I'm a guy who grew up on EGM and Nintendo Power and Game Pro, though Game Pro was a piece of shit. I never really liked Game Pro. But you understand what I'm saying? I was a magazine guy who got that kind of stuff, and then later on, when the internet became a thing, then I would look for things that showed me what's coming up. I never went to these websites that did all this shit. So any hype I did was I did to myself by learning about it from the game's website or from an announcement on where I'm going to buy it, and I read up on it there. So I don't know. So I as someone who was not attached to any of the hype and surrounding it, while Historian does a good job of laying all this stuff and he makes a decent argument as why let's not all pile on Sean, I'm still going to say liar. You didn't need to say these things. It comes to a point where if you go out and say the same thing over and over again in interview after interview after interview, you lose the benefit of the doubt. Well, I told you my circumstances, Ariel, of what happened during that period of time. And I thought this was going to be a pseudo MMO I could play without little investment. I mean, I thought, wow, it's a pretty easy game to invest in. It's got no subscription. It's going to be pseudo MMO co-op. I could play. I could explore the galaxy. I could go back and come back, take breaks. And that's what it looked like to me. So I hyped myself up in that sense. I looked at what was presented to me and excited myself to play it. And then I explained, and then I told you what happened. So I blame myself for getting myself hyped up, but I blame them also for giving me what they showed me. So, I mean, yeah, I make my case. So I'm sticking by my case. So far, I have not been convinced to lose my anger with about, let's see, 16 minutes left on the video. I guess we're going to get a little bit of the redemption arc. That's fair thing to say, Kel. That is fair. But I still think he didn't have to get into bed with Sony. If he's a developer and he knows what it's going to take to make his game work, and he knows that Sony's going to, I'm sure in the contract they signed with Sony, the deadlines were there and with only a little wiggle room to push something back. Therefore, you should have understood we can't do this. We're not going to get in bed with you now. We'll get in bed with you at a later date, maybe. I mean, granted, if he hadn't gotten in bed with Sony, I probably never would have played it because it wouldn't have been released on the PlayStation. It would have just been Steam, and I would have played it, and I would have missed out on all this shit. And I'd probably be one of those people now that came in when it's fixed and thought, oh, No Man's Sky is great. Oh, let's cut him some slack. The game's great now. But no, I am a person who got in on the ground level. So and that is my experience. So let's keep going. We're almost done here.
So the graph plays out right to release. And that graph, it's actually a track. And that track is what the hype train runs on. So it comes barreling up the hill. Instead of neatly pulling into the station, it comes crashing right through the roof. The disaster unfolds. They are absolutely shit on. So there were Sean and Hello Games, surrounded by the rubble of their former reputation. Punished Sean was at his lowest point, hated by the majority of the gaming community. But they were still alive, and they had made tens of millions of dollars. They were left with two choices. Take the money, start a new project, and be a pariah, a cautionary tale of the industry and hated by the gaming community forever. Or pick themselves up, get back to work, and with potentially no profit motive, finish the game.
It allowed me to do something that I've always done in difficult times, whether it was crappy bosses that I've dealt with before or crappy situations at school growing up. I got my head down, I sat in front of a computer, and I made games, which is what I enjoy.
They picked number 2.
Now, I'm going to say this.
Here's the plan.
I'm going to say this. All credit is given for them for the mea culpa and for fixing it, but it's not enough for me. I mean, I'm glad, Kel, I'm glad you can forgive him. I just can't. I just can't. Because I just don't know why they could have done it right in the first place. Yeah, let's see what it says here. But they get all the credit in the world for fixing it. I will not take that away from them. They did the right thing in the end. But the story didn't have to be this way in the first place, if you ask me. It didn't have to.
The team is assigned to fixing bugs and the most obvious problems. Go. Sean tells the team to stop reading all the overwhelmingly negative feedback on the game, and he reroutes all of it to his personal devices. Emails, forum posts, Google News alerts, player feedback, it's all going directly to him now. Then he starts breaking that down into data sets. People who haven't bought the game, people who have bought it and played it for 100 hours, people who have returned it, etc. Then he starts compiling those complaints into usable data, focusing on the people with the most sincere experience of the game. Then we start making a big laundry list of all the things that need adding and prioritizing. First thing to fix is that full inventory. Then community mod support. Then a third thing, etc., etc. This is going to take an enormous amount of work to pull off, and they're not going to make the same mistake twice. So they would need to sharply adjust their PR strategy. Anything they said right now, an admission of guilt,
I've made a severe,
would be met with criticism. Denial, it's not that bad, would be met with criticism. Corporate speak, well, we endeavored to make the best game we could and we are proud of what we have, would be met with criticism. Half of the problems have been caused by speaking too much. So they were going to do a complete 180.
So that tells me they understood that in the first place. You shouldn't have said things that weren't going to happen. That's what that tells me. That's what that tells me.
Instead of adding more fuel to the fire, instead of accidentally promising fixes that might also not be delivered, they wouldn't speak to the press again.
Female traits you're talking about, I'd say that's a generalization, but you've used it.
They were going to speak to the community directly from now on. So they told the audience they were working on it and went completely silent. 1 day passed. No word. 2 days. A week. Have you heard from Hello Games? They just had this disastrous release. Nope, haven't seen them. I hope they're working on the game. 2 weeks. Dude, are you working on this thing? Just ignore them. Just work. 3 weeks. Okay, what the fuck is going on?
WTF, it's locked.
A month. They took the fucking money and ran, didn't they? Didn't say anything. It's not going to help. 2 months. 3 months. By now, most people were convinced that the game was abandoned. They had made their money. It's all over. Then, after over 100 days of absolute silence, a tweet. Foundation. The first big patch. It is me, Sean. No, go away, Sean. I am mad at you. It has been too long. But I bring you gifts. Its accent sucks. It brought base building, new game modes, farming, camps, and freighters, as well as a lot of bug fixes. You will have to try harder than that, Sean, to win my love back. It still fell well shy of the promised game. Too little, too late. So Sean left, returned to his team, and got back to work. A few more months went by, and then another tweet. Pathfinder.
What do we have here?
What the fuck? Oh, it's you, Sean. I bring you online base sharing, own multiple starships, starship specialization, multi-tool specialization and classes, permadeath modes, vehicles you can drive around in, and create racetracks for them too with time trials. Look at this. Okay, that's pretty good, but I'm still mad, and there's still a ton promised that isn't in the game yet. So Sean went away once more. A few more months went by. Knock, knock. Oh, it's you, Sean. What is it now? I bring you An overhaul to the storyline, new worlds, crashed freighters, space combat, terrain editing, portals, procedural mission system, interstellar trading, and joint exploration. By now, people were really starting to warm to No Man's Sky again.
And that's the truth. They did make a good game, and I'm not going to deny that. I'm just... I did play... Well, yeah, I didn't play and walk away. I actually did play it and walk away. So you're right. You are right, Sleazy. I did play it and walk away because I was the initial... As I've said, I was one of the initial people that was burned. And listen, as I said, they get all the credit in the world for making a game. And people who like it right now, I mean... Shock has said over and over again, the game's good, it's fun, but when we have this discussion, as we've had a few times, he says he still understands my position. If you're going to insult me right the first time. Or do it with a super chat. Make it worth my time.
Hello Games.
The game has, in many ways, exceeded what was promised.
It's a substantially better game now.
No Man's Sky is back, baby!
People saw this was an honest effort to fix the game, and the number of employees working on it was growing. From a studio of 15.
No, if you're gonna insult me proper. Insult me proper with a super chat.
To 25. Sean Murray and Hello Games social media also started becoming more active and engaging with the audience. The subreddit was flourishing once more. The price of the game secondhand on Amazon, eBay, and GameStop was going up. Then a few more months went by. Next, a really big patch.
Oh my god. Holy shit! I just got goosebumps.
To be super clear, No Man's Sky is not fuck that. Here's the full and proper multiplayer experience. Ringed planets, third-person mode, character customization, a galactic atlas on an external website for the community, vast overhauls to base building and crafting and resources, and it also brought the game to Xbox. In fact, with the release of Next in July 2018, No Man's Sky was the 6th top-selling console game for the month. It climbed its way back into Steam's top 10. It reached nearly 100,000 concurrent players. It brought another $24 million.
Yes, sir. Actually, the fact that I'm asking and working to make money means I'm a good Jew. I'm making money. So I am being a good Jew.
Across all platforms. Their Steam rating went from mixed to very positive. People were getting back on board in a big way. But they weren't done yet. Better creatures, weird underwater shit. Discoveries in bases and environments and equipment, and it keeps going. New biomes, more diversity, archaeology, more things to discover. By now, Sean and the gaming inspector, personification of the gaming community, had literally patched things up and were making out on the couch. Yeah. Which was when he released his biggest patch to date of this video.
Oh my god, dude!
Free VR support. Not a whole other game you have to pay for, like some titles. Overhauls to NPCs, tech trees, base building, streamlined multiplayer, ride animals around. All sorts of stuff that was never promised in the first place. And they're still adding more stuff.
Someone at Valve, who was a fan of the game, said to me, what you do now is more important than what you say. There's only one thing that's credible, and that's your actions.
In fact, I was so slow to get this video out that they put out another patch the other day, with ship salvaging, ship upgrading, more advanced terrain editing, first-person exocrafts, improved VR, improved base building and inventory management, and quality of life stuff. It goes on. Is it perfect? Technically, there are still things on this spreadsheet missing. But come on now, we're starting to nitpick. Especially when you compare them to relationships with other games companies. They could have gone the route of Fallout 76. Paywall mods with Fallout First, charging a monthly fee, a downward spiral more and more into pay-to-win scraps released without QA testing. But instead, they never added pay-to-win. They never added microtransactions.
Again, that is another props. All these updates are free forever. They're not charging for DLC. They're just putting the game, which should have always been there. And I have one more final statement. Let's let it finish up.
DLC. They never made VR as a second game. They didn't give up on the game or scale their resources back to do it. They didn't come out and call all gamers entitled. They didn't add loot boxes. They didn't start work on the next big project or sequel. They didn't do much of anything except get back to work. And just like that, the game once panned by critics now had awards rolling in.
Your developed star 2019, No Man's Sky, Sean Murray.
No Man's Sky next.
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky is next.
No Man's Sky.
And to cap it all off, the subreddit No Man's Sky the game even got together and pooled money for a GoFundMe to have a billboard installed near the Hello Games offices. It must have been a harrowing moment for Sean and the team. They took a huge risk to start a small studio. They clawed their way up to create one of the most notable games of the console generation, disappointed pretty much everyone with the release, and took one of the biggest online beatings in video game history for it.
As a family, post-release, we faced some really difficult challenges. Everything that you can imagine from like the worst of the internet, we hit.
But then over the course of the next 3 years, completely turned it around and came out the other side with a win. It's the underdog story. And after doing all of this research, I couldn't help but come to the conclusion that they were the good guys.
Gay!
So what is the future for Hello Games? In 2017, they announced Hello Labs, a support program focused on original titles and games using procedural generation. Two of the team also branched off to work on a small title called The Last Campfire. But for the foreseeable future, they're just working on No Man's Sky. Alright, I didn't want to finish the video on like a big sappy note. So, this is the end of the story, but there's still another few minutes. Don't leave. It's not an ad. Okay, in 2015, when hype was at its peak, someone wrote a Sean Murray erotic fan fiction. And naturally, I assumed that you lot would want to see it.
No.
Here it is.
No, I don't.
My evening interview.
I don't.
At Hello Games.
No. God damn it.
I arrived at the Hello Games office in the early evening
damn it,
as the
Cal.
sun was approaching the horizon. Taking a deep breath, I nervously pressed the doorbell. The door opened, and Sean poked his expressive face out to greet me. "Hey you," he exclaimed in his adorable British-Australian accent. "I'm so happy you could make it and spend the evening with us." "I was so happy when I heard you agreed to let me come in for an interview," I said. "Oh yeah, the interview. I forgot," he replied with his usual brilliant humor. I laughed. "You're so funny, Sean. Let me show you my office." "I have a surprise for you," Sean said. He led me to the room where we sat down on a soft vinyl couch. "So let me show you the surprise," he said, softly. "It's the newest build of the game. We just added some new features." He booted up the game on a PS4 in his office. I stared at his face. I like your beard. It's sexy," I pretended to say to him in my head to myself. I had a secret crush on him. There was something about his humble demeanor and feeble yet handsome bone structure that was so alluring. "So here's the game," he said eagerly. It opened on an alien world just calling out to be explored. I began to sweat. Here it finally was, in front of me in all of its glory, and it was being played by Sean in front of me in all of his glory. I nervously spoke. "Could I try playing?" I said. "Oh, I suppose, of course," he said, chuckling. But another few minutes passed without him handing me the controls. "Sean," I said more confidently. I put my hands on his hands as he gripped the controller. He looked me straight in the eyes. I stared deep into his beautiful, glistening eyes, utterly transfixed. "Sure," he said. He let go of the PlayStation controller, still sweaty from his firm grip. "But I have another surprise to show you." He stood up.
Redacted.
He muttered. "Yes, please," I said, blushing as red as the treetops of Aurea 5.
He grabbed my shoulders, guiding me confidently towards the coffee table, like he confidently guides the Hello Games team towards the game's release. The one true Sean Murray, not that baby-faced loser asshole poser from NCIS, made sweet, sweet love to me. I wasn't sure what I was more excited about. Finally,
Redacted.
Sean Murray, all finally playing No Man's Sky. After exploring the planet's surface, I entered my spaceship and took off. Just as I left the atmosphere and burst into the breathtaking expanse of space.
Horrible.
It was an out-of-world experience. Oculus Rift support, he uttered sensually. As I turned, I saw Sean's avatar standing before me in a beautiful, procedurally generated spacesuit. Like what you see, he said. It's time, everybody, he shouted. I heard footsteps slowly enter from the cramped office. I soon saw many spacesuits appear before me in-game. But as they took off their helmets, I realized that they were all the same Sean Murray avatar. I was about to be
redacted
by a group of Sean Murrays, but they all had one difference.
Redacted.
Each piece
Redacted.
was different. There were wide ones, thin ones, long ones, curved ones. It was magical. As the Hello Games team began to
redacted.
From somewhere in the room, I heard Sean whisper, every
redacted
procedural. Also, I did a thing on the second channel. Please do check it out. I thought it was quite good. I love the videos on the second channel. It's some erotic fan fiction over there.
All right, that's the end of it. There's like 6. Oh Lord. All right. I don't think Ariel's ever been more excited at me watching a video. Let me say some things here. My thoughts on this. I will give all the praise in the world for Sean and Hello Games for manning up and following through in the end. The problem is this. I always have the desire and dream when a new game comes out to be somebody in on the ground floor. No, I want to be in on the ground floor. I want to be there. I want to help build something. I want to build something great. I want to bring friends in. I want to create those great gaming experiences I've had in the past. And whenever I get in on the ground floor of a game. And for No Man's Sky, I thought that was going to be one of those things I got in on. A ground floor experience where I'm going to have memories for years to come. I'm going to have a lot of fun, play this game for a long time, and have great experiences with other people. That's gone for me now. That's one of the reasons I also don't want to go. I won't go back to this, and because all the stuff, everybody's done everything now. I'd just be another tag along to having to quickly pick it up and do shit. That experience of being there, growing with the games, and having it become an experience around me where I create memories, create new things, that is gone. And it's gone because they promised me something originally they didn't deliver. That's why another reason I don't want to go back, because they'll never give me that experience that I want. I don't care how good it is, how much shit's in there to do. I'm never going to get it. And so it's pointless for it. And Sleazy, for a 1-month member message, moving sucks. Thanks for being the background noise. Hey, listen, I understand moving sucks. And, that's fine. That is fine. And I'm happy to keep you busy. Happy to keep one of the better Jews out there busy. Anyway, thanks, Sleazy, for the member message. Either way, I give nothing but good wishes to everybody enjoying No Man's Sky, who played it, who stuck with it, this and that. But I'm not going back. It would take an inordinate amount of pressure and convincing. And I'll be honest, someone else would have to buy me the game for console. I'm not going to spend that money on it again for myself. They have never earned for me to give them my money again. So I'm never going to play this game again unless you guys all bully me into it from various angles. And even then, it's going to be a chore because there's a lot of other games out there I want to play with you guys, play for myself, things I'm looking forward to in several different ways than this. And I don't have that much forgiveness in my heart for that. I just don't. Why don't you play the game? You play the game. Anyway, all right. So, Kel, I hope you got your $50 worth. I hope you got your $50 worth on that. Last chance for any. Well, if you do play the game, well, then I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm going to play other games tomorrow. My copy of Expedition 33 will arrive, so we're going to start streaming that tomorrow. Well, probably Wednesday. Depends on when it arrives tomorrow. And I don't really like to stream on Tuesday nights. It's kind of my nights off from doing any streaming. So maybe Wednesday. I'm thinking about Wednesday. We'll get some Expedition 33 in there. Other than that, so if nobody has any articles, you got some Adam rants for free during that. So that's always the bonus of something like that where I have experience with it. You're going to get a bonus Adam rant. That's for sure. No, I haven't tried the Dune game because I don't think my computer could run it. That's one reason. And I'd have to know that it's worth my time to give it anything. I'd have to really know it's worth my time. But yeah, my computer probably won't be able to play it. That's the thing, because the old girl can't handle it. That's just a console version, which I know there isn't. So that's the other thing. We got to remember, sometimes there are games right now, guys, that unless it's console, because I am console race. I am not PC master race. I can't play certain games anymore. We're reaching a point where, as the releases keep happening, my computer really can't run it. Console, sleazy console, physical copy. My physical copy for Expedition 33 arrives tomorrow. I don't need a piece for that. I have console. So so that's the other thing we have to understand. There's certain games I can't play because of the limitations of my technology. Right now, a new computer is way down the line. We have to get me to the point where, because part of the goal right now this year is let's get the channel going so that I can afford to move to Florida before May of next year. That's kind of thing. We're trying to get me to that. So that's one of the things right now. Moving me to Florida takes priority. It's just not just me. It's members of my family. We have to move to Florida before I get another computer, a gaming rig for everything. Anyway, so with all that being said, unless anybody has an article or a rant or another video you want to watch, we've been at this for 2 hours. We go as long as you guys want me to go. But as we don't have anything else to do, if nobody else wants to say anything, then we are going to wrap it up. And I'll be on my way because there are still 2 streams today. We still got 2 streams tonight. We've got at 9 p.m. Eastern, Doctor Who Cares Reviews, where Jed, Dermy, and myself on all our channels. You can catch it over there. And you can then watch us rip apart Shooty Who. Dermy is really angry at this episode just because he feels like he wasted his time. Jed and I have already talked about it. We're just laughingly annoyed. And we got a couple articles surrounding Shooty Who stuff that we're going to do it. Then after that, right after that, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, we've got Mellow Mondays, where the gang's back together. Everybody's going to be there tonight. And who knows, the door's open. Others may join us as well, where we're just going to nerd out for a little while and have a good time. And then it's the rest of the week. As I said earlier in the stream, we've got a Superman trailer on Wednesday. You guys can reserve me to review that live on stream on Daily Dive on Wednesday. I have seen those. I've seen a little bit of it. I'm not impressed. I'll just say that. That's all you get from me for now. I am not impressed on that by any of the He-Man leaks I've seen from the set. But so blew my train of thought, Lakata. So we got the Superman show on Wednesday. You guys can reserve the live reaction to that. Otherwise, it'll be just a regular video. Other than that, we'll see what the rest of the week offers. Rest of the week entails Ballbusters on Friday. Got the Melees. Saturday Night Drive-In is Mission Impossible, the first Mission Impossible movie. And then Ballbusters, Among Us, Saturday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And then Roundtable on Sunday. And remember, Star Wars Expanded Universe Book Club is back once a month live on this show. We will have a sit down. We'll talk about our book we're reading for this month. We are reading Children of the Jedi by Barbara Hamley. So join me for that last Thursday of the month. I will do we'll have a live discussion on stream. I'll talk about it. We'll have some fun with it. Anyway, yes. Say thank you, everybody, for joining me today on the Daily Dive. If you had a good time, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more goodness. Until then, guys, take it easy. Have a good night or day wherever you may be.